It took it all the way to a penalty shootout. But it's Chelsea who are through. It's joy in London. It's heartbreak for Lyon.
Why Chelsea women will win the UEFA Women's Champions League this year. European Women's Premier Club competition, the UEFA Women's Champions League is back this weekend with tasty semi-final fixtures. And as expected, Chelsea FC women are one of the last 4 teams vying for a place in the final in Bilbao next month. But also in the last 4 are Chelsea's recent nemesis, Barcelona Femení, who are hungry for a 3rd title in 4 years. Plus, of course, the competition's most successful side, Olympique Lyon, who would want this year's title to become their record 9th win. Unlucky enough for Chelsea, they would be without the deadliest striker in the world, Sam Kerr, who has been out with an ACL injury since January. Also for Chelsea, they will be missing colossal centre-back and club captain, Millie Bright, who also has not featured for the club since late last year. But even with these injury hits and heavy fixture pile-up in the past few months, Chelsea still ended the month of March competing in 4 competitions. Tells you the kind of mentality monsters Emma Hayes has trained over the years. Getting straight into it, with due considerations given to Chelsea's strengths and their main opponents, here are 5 reasons why we think this year might actually be Chelsea's year. Reason number 1. There has never been a better time. Since Emma Hayes took over as Chelsea Women FC boss in August 2012, the team has been on a steady rise up to now. And while they have, in recent times, firmly established themselves as the best domestically, winning a record 6 WSL titles in England, Chelsea's European pedigree has been a bit lacking and undeserving as champions of the most competitive league in the world. Unfortunately for Chelsea, just 2 semi-final finishes, in 2018 and 2023, and 1 final appearance in 2021, where they lost 4-0 to Barcelona Femení, have been somewhat disappointing from a club of Chelsea's caliber. However, Emma Hayes and her girls have maintained that the gap between them and the top European teams has been closing significantly, and even now, it is really at its all-time closest. The fact that Chelsea lost 4-0 in their only ever final at Gothenburg, Sweden, to Barcelona 2 years earlier. So, from there, it is quite easy to note the improvements they have made since then. Giving her thoughts to the press about last year's semi-final exit at the hands of Barcelona, Emma Hayes said the better team lost.
In the end, we were all proud to be Chelsea because I think the better team lost today.
And she was not really wrong. Especially when you consider the fact that Chelsea actually drew 1-1 at Camp Nou, which was the first time Barcelona had dropped points at home in over 70 games. Reminding themselves that they lost last year's semi-final tie only because they lost narrowly at home in the first leg, Chelsea are in their best position yet to get their revenge this time. And you know what's more interesting? Chelsea play the second leg of this semi-final tie at home, which we expect to be a sold-out Stamford Bridge crowd. Believe us when we say they are ready this time. Reason number 2. Chelsea are hurting. The opportunity of a quadruple just passed them by in a matter of 2 weeks. Before the last international break, Chelsea were in fact primed to win all 4 trophies they were competing in this season. However, an extra time winner from Stina Blackstenius meant Arsenal were crowned winners of the Continental Tires Cup at Molineux Stadium. The defeat also meant Chelsea had lost 3 Conti Cup finals in 3 straight seasons. Absolutely shocking. And as if that defeat was not enough, Chelsea over the weekend lost their FA Cup semi-final tie away to Manchester United, a team they had previously won 10 times and drawn once against in 11 meetings. That made it back-to-back losses for Chelsea, who not only missed out on 2 trophies in 2 weeks, but also recorded back-to-back losses for the first time in a long while. We expect that painful Conti Cup final defeat and last weekend's FA Cup semi-final defeat to fuel Chelsea to give their maximum best and more against a top Barcelona side in the semi-final of the UWCL. This, in our opinion, would provide Chelsea with an extra boost to go all out for the 2 remaining trophies, that is, the UEFA Women's Champions League and the WSL title. We believe the dream of fighting for and winning trophies creates a sort of special bond among players and staff alike, and that should give a quality side like Chelsea the edge to finally get their hands on the trophy that has most eluded them in their history, the UWCL trophy. Ideally, Chelsea and Emma Hayes would have wanted a quadruple as they last won a domestic treble in 2021. But this time, they have just the UWCL and WSL trophies left, and something tells us they would actually die trying to win both. Reason number 3. Emma Hayes. After 12 years of pure dedication and hard work to mold Chelsea women into the absolute world beaters they are today, manager Emma Hayes announced earlier on in the season that she would be leaving Chelsea at the end of the season.
I think I've dedicated as much as I possibly can to this football club. I've loved every minute of it. And I think it's really important that, if possible, let's create a succession plan for me, much like Paul and I do with the players.
A Chelsea without Emma, whoa, well, we would allow posterity to be the judge of this one, but with the Emma Hayes announcement, you just know she and her players would as much love a photo finish. Just imagine the newspaper headlines after Hayes has successfully guided her Chelsea side to the crown of champions of Europe in what would most definitely be her last game at the club. That story would definitely fit for a fairy tale, considering the fact that when she first took over in 2012, Chelsea were still only a semi-professional club. But we are thoroughly reminded as well how silly it sounds to rely on fairy tales, as Emma Hayes herself has been wary of that. But there is no denying that she would as much love for that to happen too. That is an added motivation to win right there. We have not even come to the playing body, made up of players that idolize her. Current stars of the team, most recently Academy graduate, Aggie Beaver-Jones, recently have admitted on many occasions how they owe their careers to Emma Hayes and why they would so much love to send her off properly. Same sentiments have been shared by the likes of Erin Cuthbert, Fran Kirby, and we mean all the girls alike. And all of these talk must definitely amount to something, right? Not even Barcelona Femini should be able to stop Chelsea. Reason number 4. Chelsea know how to beat the French teams. You may be wondering why we have singled out Barcelona Femini as Chelsea's main stumbling block, even though there is the competition's most successful team, Olympique Lyon, right? Fact is, getting the better of French teams has never really been an issue for Chelsea women, as the only time they got eliminated by a French team in the competition was 2017-2018 when they lost 3-2 on aggregate to Olympique Lyon in the semi-final. Ironically, that result was even a massive positive given the significant gap between the teams at the time. Need we remind you that Chelsea beat Lyon in the quarter-final before losing out narrowly to Barcelona Femini last season? And as for the other semi-finalist PSG, Chelsea's record against them is squeaky clean, having recently even battered them both home and away in the group stages last year. Over the years, Chelsea's real bogey teams have been the Germans, as Wolfsburg in particular hold a 5-2 head-to-head total wins over Chelsea. But guess what? No Wolfsburg this time, and surely, we pretty much know all about the uncertainties football can provide, but the facts and stats cannot also be totally ignored. All Chelsea need to do is get past Barcelona Femini and they are sure of a UWCL title this year. Reason number 5. The oracle of the UWCL. Most definitely, we were never going to conclude this piece without dangling with commonalities. Since the rebranding of it was Olympique Lyon in 2022 and then Barcelona in 2023. Now, guess which club qualified top of Group D this year? Of course, Chelsea. While there is not much strong scientific backing for this theory, as it deals with small sample size, only 2 editions of the competition, it would also be practically unwise to totally disregard this piece of history. With a historic and spiritual competition as the UWCL, usually when it is your turn and your stars align, even the pettiest and slightest bits tend to go your way. And until reality comes to prove otherwise, we would always factor absolutely everything, and we do seriously believe that tides are on Chelsea's side this year given all the circumstances given and more. However, we understand you may have your own favorites out of the other 3 teams in Barcelona, Olympique Lyon and PSG Feminine, to win the competition. And so, ahead of the semi-final first leg kickoffs this weekend, tell us which team you think will make the final and eventually lift the trophy in Bilbao. Is it going to be Barcelona, Lyon, PSG, or Chelsea? Tell us in the comments below.